1,000,000. Wow. 1,000,000. Love you guys.
Hey guys, it's your Bo the Doggo, and welcome back to Winds of Change, episode 17. Yeah, and we have arrived at Alarenthia. We got into the city, and we are on our way to the tavern. And soon we will also learn more about Ulrich, and we will hopefully find out if Ulrich actually is the legendary Ulrich, like Ulrich the Legend. I think he is, but for now we are going to the tavern to find Vivien. Let's go. No, I didn't want to play a new game. Fuck. Okay, there we go. I read all the books. Good, nice, very well, good and nice. So, tavern we are going to. We enter the tavern and make sure to stick close together. It was packed and noisy, and the patron seems very rowdy. Also remember to check out my Patreon as well and become a patron for me and join the Patreon hangouts. Link in corner. I make sure to stick by Ulrich in case something breaks out.
It looks just like I remember it. All these years and nothing has changed. I guess there's no use trying to change perfection.
All of these thousands of years.
Yes, it looks much like it did in our time as well. If memory serves, Alarenthia is home to a unique wine, Monarch. If you have a drink, we would suggest that.
Does that mean that your people, like house people, built this place? Cool. Did they build all the other cities as well? Or only this one?
Wow, he actually knows what he's talking about. I'm buying a few bottles to bring back to the mainland. The climate of Alarenthia affects the taste of everything. Some in a good way and some in a bad way. I won't bore you with the details, but the wine is great. Let's find Vivien and get everything started, shall we?
Yeah, wine is a science on its own. We all nod to one another and venture deeper into the tavern. It's an open place with no doors, so I can see right outside to the market. We approach the bar. I assume that Ulrich is going to ask after Vivien. I can't even see Drakior, and I notice a bunch of eyes at us. Part of me starts to wonder if this was a trap. Something feels odd. A man sneaks up from behind us and stands between me and Ulrich. He has a drink in his hand, and he slams it down on the table. Some of it spills on the bar. The man must be intoxicated.
Hey, would you let me buy you a drink? Something tells me you're not from around here. I know a lot about this place if you need a tour guide.
Sure. Before I can answer, Ulrich gently pushes them away.
Look, we don't have time for any antics, but if you know where Vivien is, we could use some help. You're right about us being foreigners. We've come a long way.
Shady dude with the cloak and all.
Oh, you're looking for Vivien. Why didn't you say so? Follow me.
Ooh, you know her? Ulrich and I stare at each other, at unease.
We'd rather stay here if you don't mind. Following strangers isn't the best idea.
All right. I'll be right back. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I trust you. Have I seen you before? You look familiar.
I don't trust that his eyes are glowing like that. They're just like Sovy's. He also glows when he's like determined.
No. Now please leave us be. Don't bother us again unless you have Vivien. I'll ask the barkeep in the meantime. Maybe they know.
The mysterious man nods and walks away from us. I doubt he'll be coming back. He was probably a scammer. Is there something about us that makes us an easy target? Yeah, you probably look like Valerians. Or maybe just, like, not being like lizard people.
Now I guess I'll start.
Before he can continue, Drakior sneaks up behind us.
Your manners could use some work, Ulrich.
I use my manners on worthwhile people.
And Vivien isn't one of them? I saw how you just shoved him away.
What?
Wait, what? Vivien is a man?
And an honorable one at that. He deserves to be treated with respect.
What?
I don't believe you.
Most people don't. His parents chose the name. If anything, it keeps the assassins looking for the wrong person.
Try and tell me you weren't looking for a female when you entered.
Ulrich shrugs. Drakior had a point though. Okay, I thought they knew that Vivien was a woman or a female because they have been referring to him as a female. So I just thought, I didn't know Vivien was a female name, but I guess it sounds kind of feminine. Anyway.
Let's get this over with then. We need to talk about securing an alliance. Then we'll do the same with Draku and take the best deal.
Vivien approaches us and stands beside Drakior.
You told them? I was having fun, Drakior. That's in short supply these days. Thanks a lot.
They're on a strict schedule, Vivien. The ball opens up in a matter of hours. Remember, you still have a move to make.
Right. A challenge at the ball. Move aside. I'll explain our plan to Ulrich. If he has any sense, he'll aid our cause.
Are you gonna assassinate Drakior? Draku? Are you gonna assassinate Draku? Drakior nods and steps aside. Our comrades gather around, having realized what's going on.
So Vivien is a guy?
Yep.
I guess so. But don't say that too loud. Something tells me it's not common knowledge.
And here Drakior was like,
Didn't you know that Vivien is a man? Oh, did you think that he was a woman? Oh.
Very smart. Helps you stay incognito. We were all looking for a girl, weren't we?
Yeah, something like that. Either way, I'm glad this worked out. We should probably talk terms with him.
You have a nice group of comrades, Ulrich. Start by telling me about him, though.
Vivien stares at me, and I guess that was a reasonable request. My position beside Ulrich's implies that we were closer than the rest.
This is the monarch, heir to the throne of Alestia. After we take down the Triumvirate, this is his world. A crazy claim, I know, but we have proof of everything.
Vivien blinks a few times, clearly confused.
Let's continue under the assumption that I understand. At the end of the day, you want my army to aid you, right?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Right.
Well, this is where it gets a bit weird. I want your army just as much as you want mine. Maybe we can come to some sort of conclusion?
I don't know, man. Let's let me hear you out. Let's hear each other out.
Go on.
I'm going to Draku's ball and challenging him. Tomorrow, I plan to be fighting for the throne. We'll do it right. One last fight in the Colosseum.
Why do you need my army if you are the one fighting?
I had Drakior stay at the docks to watch the new arrivals. If he found a group that looked strong enough, he'd tell me. You fit the bill. Better than anyone else. So he spied on you.
That motherfucker.
He heard your...
Oops!
He heard your group talking about a rebellion and a big army. That's when I knew he hit the jackpot. Our new target was clear. But to know you came here just for me? That's pretty flattering. If you help me take down Draku in the Colosseum, I'll help you. I can offer a few hundred men and maybe more from my throne. Who knows how many people I can rally up if I take over this nation.
So it will be a bit of a gamble here, I see. So if you don't win, we won't have any support from Larenthia, I suppose. Because we will be on the rebel side and they will probably get killed. Or at least Vivien will be killed and maybe we get the few hundreds there are. But if Vivien wins, we maybe get thousands of people. And I guess then Draco will be like, yeah, just have my army. 10 million people.
Wow.
But you don't just care about power, right? You plan to change this nation for the better.
Yes. I plan to model ourselves like the mainland. Elections, voters, stuff like that. No more tournaments. We've lost too many amazing people to barbaric, outdated laws.
Vivien, I'll be honest with you here. I want to support you, but the final choice rests with the monarch. After the ball, we need to talk with Draku first and weigh out our options.
Understandable. But be warned. That's when I'm making my move. If he accepts my challenge, we'll be fighting in the morning. You better hurry. That ball is known for huge lines.
Can't I just be like, I vote for the one who wins? Ulrich looks over at Pro, and they nod to each other. What were they talking about? I want to know!
Monarch, I need to tell you something. This is my homeland, and I've always wanted to change it.
So I've heard.
I have to fight alongside Vivien, even if you ally with Draku.
Oh.
And if Draku's terms involve destroying Vivien's insurrection, well, then I think we'll be fighting each other in the Colosseum. Remember that these are fights to the death. I have no other choice.
So you're saying that if I choose Draco, Draco will fight you till the death? Fighting Ulrich? There's no way I could do that. Even I would fight Ulrich?
I'll choose Ulrich as my champion then.
Okay. Champion?
Each side gets to choose a champion to fight with them. Aside from that, they get to choose 20 to 30 fighters. Everybody that didn't make the cut for champion as an example. This means that myself, Ulrich, and my army would fight in the Colosseum. The battle ends when either the champion or the leader has fallen. Now, I know for a fact that Draku doesn't like to lose his own men. So, if I challenge him at the ball, after you ask him for his support, I bet he'll make you fight me for it. You know, use your men instead. He's predictable, but you use that to your advantage, Monarch.
Oh?
I hope it doesn't come down to fighting each other. But for the future of this nation, I will do what I must. Now let's get to that ball and see what Draku wants.
Wait, I wanted to talk more about to Vivien. Is there a plan that I could go there and be like, oh yeah, Draco, let's I fight for you, and when we get down there to fight, I'll be like, I won't fight, I lay down, I'm dead, oh no, and Vivien wins, and on the other hand, I would have to die.
He's probably expecting you. If Drakior scoped you out, I'm betting Westy did too. That's Draku's right hand. Just be careful out there. I'll be making my move right after he addresses his people. Make sure you're there. That happens in the throne room. Just don't make the wrong choice, Monarch. Go with me.
He smiles before walking away with Drakior in tow. So he needs us just as much as we need him. I guess in this case, that worked in our favor. I didn't expect Ulrich to side with Vivien though. Why did you not expect that? I thought he'd wait for my choice and fight alongside me. No. As I said before, Ulrich is probably thousands of years old, and we have only known him for a couple of months. I don't think he will, abandon his previous thousands of years' life just for us. No. To know that we could be enemies in the Colosseum? That's terrifying. But it seems like a real possibility with each passing second. It would make sense for Draco to use expendable foreigners as his supporting fighters. At the end of the day, it really only mattered who the leader and the champion were. Vivien and Ulrich. Draco and who? I guess we'll find out. We stay at the tavern for a while before leaving. However, our next destination was clear. The castle! Hopefully the line to the ball wasn't horribly long. Ooh, Sovy! Ooh, banter! Ooh, Ulrich! Ooh, loyalty thingy. Ooh, so much to do, so much to see, so little time. Hello. Let's see, let's look around first. There are paintings here, and I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. On closer inspection, one of them looks like Ulrich, the legendary one. How do you see the difference? Does Draco not care that paintings of his enemies are out in the open? I wonder if Draco's gonna be like a real nice guy and be like, no, I don't want anyone to die, no, or something. No, okay, if he was like that, he wouldn't be holding the tournament stuff, but maybe he's nicer than we think. The tavern is open, and I can see it back outside. Being connected to the marketplace is a genius idea. People enter and leave like it's a normal part of the day. It's odd though. No matter where I go, taverns are all the same. There was Peregrino, there was a tavern in Mazeo, and now this. I guess no matter where you are, some things never change. People always want to sit down, and people always want to drink alcohol. So weird. Should we start with talking to Ulrich then? Access Ulrich heart to heart 4. 4? That would mean that this will become loyalty thing, right? Or like the next thing will be the loyalty thing, right? Ulrich sits down at the tavern, taking large swigs of ale. It's hard. Oh, Jesus. It's hard to accept that if we side with Dracu, he'd be against us. But it's understandable as well, because he really wanted to change Alarenthia.
For thousands of years, he's been wanting to change these lands.
Nothing will stop him, not even the monarch, Bowdoggo. I hope that this wouldn't affect the rebellion and our unity. We can't have our key members being at arms with each other. Do you mean like Damek and Howl?
Have a seat, Monarch. These drinks are on me. I don't want you filling up on Dracu's handouts.
I nod and take a seat beside him. I'll drink, but I want some answers. Are you
gay?
His hastily alliance with Vivien, the lies about his markings, and his past. If he wants my trust, then he needs to tell me everything. Because right now, I just feel lost. I voice those concerns to him as the drink he ordered me arrives. Taking a large swig, I sit back and await his response, whatever it may be.
Trust. This isn't about trust, Monarch. Your trust in me won't affect any of your decisions. In fact, we could win this war without any trust at all.
Okay.
All that matters is the desire to fight for a common cause. Did you think that these little chats we've been having were mandatory? Trust me, I could have done just fine without them. In fact, I'd be better off.
Why should I trust you? This was not about trust, Ulrich. What are you talking about? Get your shit together. I'm taken aback by his harsh words. But I don't let it provoke me. I simply wait. It's best if I let him get a clear head instead.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Of course you didn't.
This friendship we're forming complicates things. There's a reason I never kept many friends, Monarch. I'm scared that if I tell you everything, you'll just walk away. Spirits know everybody else did. Look at me. Still using superstition. The spirits had no power over us, no divine plan.
You sound like every emo kid at the late 2010s.
Everyone leaves me.
Then why do I find myself still wanting to believe in them? I guess maybe they gave me a sense of comfort in difficult times. It's different now, having difficult times, and knowing the truth. What do I believe in if I want to push myself forward? That's what made me want to side with Vivien, no matter what. The desire to change my nation is what drives me to action now. And when we're done here, it'll be the desire to change our world. That's all I've wanted my entire life. It always seems just out of reach. Whenever I think I have it, the Triumvirate swoops in and takes it away. They tell you they'll give you what you want. They convince you that they'll make your dreams come true. Then, when they're done with you, they throw you away.
He lets out a loud sigh and slumps down in his chair. I'm not sure why he's telling me all of this, but I still listen. Even if it's somewhat unrelated, it's helpful for him to win. It's helpful. Why is helpful so hard to say? It's helpful for him to vent. Did he say that the Triumvirate took him in and promised him to fulfill his dreams and then threw him out again? So it wasn't as he said before, like it was, no, I left the Triumvirate because I didn't agree with them. Was it that they actually threw him out? Like he was the Grand Inquisitor, as I thought, like the Sovy's master, and then the Triumvirate threw him away or something? Or was it like working together with... Maybe he was working together with Sovy, like they was both apprentices to the same master for becoming the new Grand Inquisitor. And when they decided like, Sovy will be the new Grand Inquisitor, Ulrich, fuck you, go away. Maybe that's what happened, and now Ulrich is like, no, I didn't trust them. Oh, but they actually threw him away.
What I'm about to tell you, I tell you in confidence. I knew Sovy. before he became the Grand Inquisitor. That's how I know so much about the Triumvirate.
That's what I just said! Oh my god!
I saw them take an impressionable young man and ruin him. Turn him into a tool meant to kill without a second thought. They took my friend, and after that, he was no more.
Okay, I was totally wrong about that part. Oh no, so you were friends with Sovy before? This is so sad.
That monster we fight may look like my friend, but that man is long gone. They made sure of that. I promised myself I'd never let them do that again.
No, I'm sure he's still inside there somewhere, because he is starting to doubt the Triumvirate now.
I failed. They got to Shane, just like they got to Sovy. It's almost impossible to shake off their influence. They just have this way of convincing you.
Yeah, they just say like, look, your friend said this about you, and they'd be like, oh, fuck my friends. They are not my friends anymore. Oh! I continue listening, and we take turns drinking. Soon after, a second drink comes for each of us. I believe every word. I knew that was a connection. I look back at the vision I had of Valinor's destruction. They said some things that revealed a connection between them, but I assumed that it was something rivals would develop in wartime. However, to think that Sovy once was good? That's the part that I found hard to believe out of all of this. Why though? You saw with your own eyes that that Shane killed Damek, or at least tried to kill Damek, and he apparently was good before, and that was just over a couple of like weeks or months or so. Imagine Sovy being like this for 500 years or so. But it's so hard to get into your thick skull. Yet, he spared me when he had my life in his hands.
Well, that's one of the things I had to tell you. It was a long time ago, but it still happened. I won't let it get in the way of my performance.
But what about the secret talks with Pro?
A long time ago, I thought maybe I could win him back. You know, maybe he could change and redeem himself. But I haven't thought that in a long time. Now I want to kill him.
That is actually really sad.
For everything he's done to me. For everything he's done to us. There's a point where redemption eludes you. And he's past that. I guess this leads into the second thing I wanted to tell you, Monarch.
Okay.
Back in the desert, I told you about how I got these markings. Then Drakior said I ripped them off from the ancient Alarinthians. I wish that was the truth, I really do. But it's not the truth at all.
So tell me, how old are you?
I always tell people that I'm older than they think. But I only say that to hide how old I really am. It's not a lie. It's more like an omission.
Oh, here it comes. Now he tells us. Oh! No, okay, he didn't. He rests his head in his hands, his second glass now empty.
I'm old enough to have earned these markings the right way. There. I said it. I don't care if you believe me or not. I finally said it. I'm older than any of you could have possibly imagined. Very, very old.
I would never have imagined. How could you do this to me, Ulrich? I am so confused right now. He's claiming to be thousands of years old? As far as I know, the laws that led to these markings were banned long ago. But not only that, he also used to work with Sovy? I'd say he's our mortal enemy.
Go ahead. Tell me you don't believe me. So far, nobody else has. They say it's impossible. And soon after that, they say nothing to me at all.
Yeah, where is the line where I say fuck you, I don't want to talk to you anymore? I believe you. This war has proven almost anything is possible. I believe you. In fact, I prefer older men. It's not a big deal. Okay, I guess I found my answer now. Seriously? You could at least pretend to value my time. Oh, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Losing Sovy sounds tough. Thank you for bringing up to me, Ulrich. No, we're going with the older men.
You can never turn off that charm, huh?
Nope.
Well, in any case, I'm glad you believe me. Most people don't. There's something different about you, though, so I took a leap of faith.
Yay.
Thank you, Monarch. I really mean it. There's more to the story, but that's all we have time for. It's just the basics. Stuff you'll need to know moving forward.
The barkeep comes up to us and asks if we want another drink. Ulrich shakes his head, sending him off in his way and puts some money down.
My treat, remember? Now let's get going to that ball. Tonight we change history.
Oh my god, I can't wait for this big ball. I love balls. Balls are the best. Ulrich's loyalty scene is now available when you return to the mainland. Ah, yeah! The game will notify you when the loyalty scenes have been unlocked. Yes, I know. When they have been, you can view them by going to the war table. Yep. Old news. Ooh, Valessa and Pro. Have they figured out anything more about Fortem yet?
So we might have to fight Ulrich. That's pretty scary to think about, Pro.
Only if the Monarch sides with Draku, Valessa. There's still a pretty good chance that won't happen. I wonder who Draku will elect as his champion, though.
Well, his army is supposed to be incredibly powerful. He must get to handpick the strongest Alorinthians. I'm sure Ulrich can handle it, though. At least, I hope.
Well, Draku doesn't like to waste his men, remember? It's possible he'll elect an outsider, meaning one of us. Vivien is like an insect to him. Super easy to crush.
So, we'll be fighting each other in the end? Isn't this supposed to be a fight to the death?
Exciting, isn't it?
Wait! Was... Oh my god, Ulrich and Pro has been talking in secret all the time. I need to get my thoughts straight here. Was it that Ulrich and Pro has been talking about that we two will fight in the Colosseum? I as Ulrich will side with Vivien, and you, Pro, will side with Draku. And then we will have a fight, but in this fight we will go together and fight against Draku's people. Is it something like that? Is that what's going on? I don't know. I wonder now.
No, it's not. That means one of us will die.
Not exactly.
See what I'm talking about? He has something going on here.
Huh?
The match ends if the champion or the leader falls. It'd be possible to end this with Vivien or Draku's death. The champion is just there to spice things up, I guess. If it were just the two leaders, they'd only fight each other. Having two champions ensures the fight constantly changes pace. It makes things sound more interesting, at least. You need strategy.
Or are they planning to assassinate Draku?
Watching two leaders in an unending deadlock would be boring. The champions and a small army of men really shake it up. It makes sure the leaders are at the top of their game too. They have to watch every direction and constantly be ready. It serves to show us how strong they truly are. It's crazy. Draku is undefeated, but Ulrich might just stand a chance.
I think you're kind of missing my point, Pro.
Really?
I don't think of Vivien and Draku as expendable. At the end of the day, one of us will die no matter what. Even if it's one of them, it's still something I'd like to avoid.
Then it sounds like you side with Vivien then. Draku's death would be the final death in the Colosseum. There'd be no more fights like this under his reign.
But I thought Draku wouldn't fight, but he will be on the side and having chosen a champion.
I know you're right, but it's not so easy. We have to kill him just because he thinks differently? There's no way to avoid casualties, and I hate that.
Yeah, but it's not just Alarinthia, Valessa. You could say that about this entire war in general. Sometimes it's better to look at people as means to an end.
I can never do that.
A lot of people feel the same way, trust me. But that's probably why the Triumvirate is in charge. We need to start looking at things differently if we want to win.
And that's why you can't be Elder, Valessa.
If we have to compromise ourselves, then is it truly winning? I don't know, Pro. I think I need a little bit of time to myself.
Of course.
Okay. I might be thinking too hard into this. Anyway, Fortem and Draku, isn't it? Damek, have they spoken before?
I don't want to watch Ulrich fight in the Colosseum. If the monarch sides with Draco, then he could die.
But he's prepared to die for his beliefs, Fortame. There isn't a better way to go. A true, noble end.
Honestly, I'd prefer if his life had no end at all. I have a feeling this choice will end up dividing us. I don't want to fight against Ulrich or watch him die.
It's all about respecting his wishes, Fortame. If he puts his life on the line for Alarinthia, we can't deny that. You do the same for Valenorth. In fact, you already are.
Really?
This war is just battle after battle, Fortame. You put your life on the line back at Rebel HQ. That means you are ready to die for your beliefs.
I guess you're right when you put it that way.
So Ulrich isn't just fighting for Alarinthia. Remember that our army gets a boost out of this. At the end of the day, it benefits all of Alestia.
But what if the person we side with loses?
That's what makes things difficult, Fortame. Vivien is the right choice, in my opinion, but not the correct one. The correct choice is Draco. He's won every battle and has a huge army.
This is pretty complicated. So far, every choice was concrete. There was no room to choose and then lose.
Alarinthia is different than everything we know. I guess it makes sense that things would change once we arrived. The monarch has a tough choice to make. It's a gamble at best.
Are you kidding me? Ah!
It shouldn't have to be that way, though. The future of a nation in our world is a gamble? That's bad news. Vivien has the right idea here for sure.
You mean abolishing Colosseum battles?
Yeah. Things should be just like the rest of Alestia. If they were, then we wouldn't even be in this situation.
And that's what Vivien wants.
But we shouldn't change something just because we don't like it. That's what the Triumvirate did to this world. We can't be like them. Alarinthia has been fine since the dawn of time. It can continue to be fine.
Yeah, but I mean, true. I feel like I'm changing sides here. I've been on the side of Draco, but also things change. I feel like I like in some of the first episodes I was talking about Valenorth changing because Valessa was like, no, Valenorth can change. Valenorth has to be the same all the time. But I was like, no, it's better to change Valenorth to be more open to. Oh yeah, that's when I decided to go with Fortem as the elder, because I thought that Valenorth should change and expand and all. And I think the same maybe should happen with Alarinthia. They don't have to. I mean, they don't have to be so barbaric where they have to kill each other all the time over everything. They can actually have like democracy. It won't ruin the world.
Besides, Valenorth is the exact same way. Independent, with its own hierarchy and leadership.
It was, but I'm going to change that.
Yeah.
As the elder, I want unity with the other nations. I think the same would be best for Alarinthia.
Yeah, it's basically what he has said.
The Triumvirate changed this world to suit them, right? That's not what we're doing. We're liberating it, making it better. Our end goal is different, so I don't think we can be compared to them.
Yeah, that's my point as well.
You have a point, actually. Maybe I've got the wrong idea. A flip coin does the same thing until it lands, after all. The truth is only shown after everything is said and done.
Yeah.
Exactly!
In that case, maybe I do side with Vivien. With Ulrich's strength, he may stand a chance. I hope the monarch is on the same page as us.
I guess we'll find out once we get to the ball. But I wonder if Draco will request our aid. And for that matter, who will its champion be? Gosh, I hope things don't get even more complicated. Not sure I could handle a web more tangled than this.
Oh, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
I don't like that you end on that, Damek. I don't like that you end on that. Stop fucking game. Oh, fuck. Okay, so now I'm so fucking curious. Excuse my language, but I'm so curious now what the game will do to make me want to go for Draco. I asked the same thing for what was her face? Nada. I was like, what will the game do to make me choose Nada over Alex? And it made me choose Nada. But now every character is telling me, no, we should go with Vivien. And if we don't, we will have to kill Ulrich. So what can the game possibly do to make me feel like, Draco is the better choice? I'm not gonna go with Vivien. I'm gonna go with Draco. What will the game do to me? We will probably find out in the next episode. This one isn't over yet. We're gonna go check out Sovy, but I mean, probably in the next episode we will see what the game will do to us. Anyway, Sovy. Sovy knelt before his masters, with Halin and Shane behind him. The time had finally come to tell them what happened in Mazeo. Having Halin's support, however, meant that they wouldn't learn the full truth.
The general of the rebellion has fallen. Good work, Shane. You've earned our trust. We had a feeling you'd prove yourself useful. But what of the seer? We notice that you don't have our blade. This displeases us. Please, explain, Sovy.
We thought it better to damage their morale. They have the blade, but they can never recover. Next time we see them, it'll be like crushing an insect.
Or like Draco crushing Vivien.
You failed your mission, Sovy. We wanted you to retrieve that blade. Now they have time to regroup and replan.
Yes, they have time. But not enough. I know where they'll be going, Masters. With your permission, I'll go and end this.
No, wait. Will Draco's fighter be Sovy? Will Draco have Sovy as his fighter, and it will be Sovy and Ulrich fighting against each other till the death in the Colosseum? No!
End what should already be over. Sovy, do you realize what you've done? There's a reason we needed that blade. But you failed to retrieve it, and let the seer get away. Any silver lining you can come up with is simply not enough. Domek's death will only fuel them with rage to use against us.
Only if we give it time to fester. We can leave immediately. Please.
Halin, is Sovy speaking the truth? Do you trust his ability to carry out another mission?
What will Halin say? Halin steps forward, nervous. Gulping, he looks at his master.
No.
Halin, what are you doing? Sovy looks shocked, as Halin had promised his discretion. He grits his teeth in anger, taking deep breaths, trying to stay calm.
Tell us what really happened, Halin. We need to know, in order to plan our next move.
Is Halin going to become the new Grand Inquisitor?
Of course, Masters. Sovy failed on purpose. He had the blade and the seer's life, but took neither. I don't know why. I regret letting him run off alone.
What are you doing?
Halin.
Sovy's loud cry echoes through the Triumvirate's chambers. His masters shake their heads, clearly displeased at this news.
He planned to deceive you all along. In fact, he had me promise to lie as well. I did, but I planned to tell you regardless.
Halin! Halin kneels down, swearing fealty.
I am unable to lie to you, Masters. You gave me life, and for that I am grateful. Shane and myself can carry out the next mission.
What?
At this time, Sovy is unfit for duty. It pains me to say, but it is the truth.
No! The Triumvirate pauses, thinking for a few minutes. An eerie silence fills the rooms before they speak again. Sovy and Halin both kneeling, look up at the masters.
Rise, Grand Inquisitor.
Now Sovy would rise and they would be like, no, Halin. Sovy slowly rises, his fist trembling with anger.
No, not you, Sovy.
What is going on here?
What?
Grand Inquisitor, please rise.
Jesus Christ! They say it again, and Halin looks around, confused. A few moments later, he rises, standing up beside Sovy.
Masters?
Sovy is hereby stripped of the rank of Grand Inquisitor. Halin, taking this mantle, you will train Shane as your apprentice. We trust that you will do as we command, and avoid letting us down.
So Shane will be the new apprentice? What the fuck? Sovy takes a few steps back, while Halin nods.
Please, masters, I beg you to reconsider. We have them in our grasp. We can do this.
Sovy, we would have understood the failure of your mission. But lying to us, the lack of loyalty and honesty is unacceptable. It's almost starting to seem like your allegiance lies somewhere else.
Oh my god.
It doesn't! I swear!
We cannot be certain that you're telling the truth. Surely you can see how that lie has damaged our trust. Halin, however, has proven to be nothing but loyal. Shane killed a key member of the rebellion as well. You come back to us with nothing to show but deception. It hurts us, and so you must be punished for your actions.
Sovy's head slumps down, accepting defeat. If he wanted to win them back, he'd have to endure this punishment. Fighting it was useless, and would only serve to make things worse for him.
Very well. I understand. But know that I will make this up to you. Until you need me again, I'll be in my chambers.
He starts to walk away, but is quickly stopped by his masters.
No.
What's going on? Turning around, the look of anger is more apparent on his face.
Excuse me?
Your punishment must be rather severe. Without that blade, we are vulnerable.
Then tell me what you plan to do. There is no pain I will not endure for you.
Halin, Shane, come here.
Doing as instructed, they approach the Triumvirate. They turn around, and Sovy is faced by all 5 of his now superiors.
We no longer have any use for you, Sovy. The Inquisition has been reformed, and is now stronger. We have no choice but to exile you from Balteus. Permanently.
What?
You will leave immediately. This is non-negotiable. Set in stone.
Sovy shakes his head, clearly fighting back tears.
After everything I've done for you, you're going to what? Just throw me away?
Yes. Without Reign in danger, we need a strong core. We need men who can get the job done, without question. This is something you seem to be incapable of, Sovy.
Was this maybe what happened to Ulrich? Like a similar situation where they were like, you are banished from here, Ulrich. You will never come back.
There must be something I can do.
No, Sovy. There's nothing you can do. It's too late. Unless you march in here with that blade and the seer. Well, to put it bluntly, we never wish to see your face again.
Will that be what Sovy's gonna go do now? Go to get the Zero and the Blade, or get me and the Blade? But maybe he will choose sides. Maybe he will switch sides. But I guess maybe that would be like his goal now, to go and kill me and get the Blade. Oh my god. Oh my god, I didn't expect that at all. We're ending the episode right here. That's a good note to end on. Ooh, so many questions. So much is happening. What the hell? I need to record another. Do I have time to record another episode? No, I don't. Fuck. I really want to record another episode, but I don't have time. God damn it. Oh, well, hopefully you won't be, you will see the next video in less than a week. Unless I decide to play a horror game. Yeah. Holy fuck. So, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and leave a comment about your thoughts of the video. Patreon, Discord. Also, the Patreon is also up in the corner now of this video. If you want to check it out. There will be a Patreon hangout, so if you want to join that or get more info about that, join the Patreon and check out the Discord server. But yeah, that's all for this time. I love you guys, so remember that you are loved and appreciated, and you should be proud of who you are, because I would so much like to see you, yes, you specifically, in the next video. Bye! What if it turns out that I was Sovy all along?